Welcome to the Dr. Diane Show, where we explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. With over 20 years of expertise as a mindset warrior, perspective shifter, and unshakable optimist, I am dedicated to helping you reach your wildest dreams in business, health, performance, and relationships. Learn about the power of thought and how it shapes your life to take risks, change careers, find love, go on adventures, and live passionately with me, Dr. Diane. Get ready for revolutionary ways of thinking, being, and creating an amazing life. The Dr. Diane Show starts now. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Diane Hayden, and you are listening to the Dr. Diane Show on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with us for the next hour, where we will explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul. Join me on the first and third Thursdays on the Dr. Diane Show, where I have experts from around the country teaching you cutting-edge therapies on longevity medicine, natural health, mindset, and soul purpose to help you shift your perspective and become a mindset warrior like me. Please like and subscribe to my channel, Dr. Diane Hayden. I am excited today to have with me on the show Rachel Schemmerling. She is the founder of Timeless Living Designs, where she transforms homes and businesses into soul-aligned sanctuaries for women who desire intentional living. Blending wellness-centered interior design with gentle lifestyle coaching, Rachel's sanctuary shift approach helps clients reduce stress, restore clarity, and create spaces that truly support who they're becoming. From calming bedrooms to purpose-driven studios and offices, her work turns everyday environments into catalysts for healing, focus, and joy. And you can learn more about Rachel at www.timelesslivingdesigns.com. So welcome, Rachel. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Diane. It's really a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's awesome. I absolutely love what you do. Honestly, the first time I went to your website, I was like, I could just stare at this picture forever. Like, I want this to be my house. So we're
That's
going to talk.
awesome.
We're going to talk a lot about what your sanctuary shift approach is and all of that. But I kind of like to start with just giving our listeners like a little bit of background about you. Like, how did
Sure.
you get started in all of this?
So I started to design quite a few years ago. I was sort of an older student and kind of muddled along in the first years after graduating and had a business, but I really wasn't honed into wellness design until years later when I myself was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And having a chronic illness made me have a whole new perspective on how I was living and how to take care of myself. And I was doing some reading from Dr. Ellen. I can't think of her name right now. I'll have to get that for you. But she had done a study of some patients in a hospital that were healing so much better from having a view of an outdoor setting versus a brick wall. And
Mm.
that just clicked for me. And I said, that's it. That's how I need to meld and really research interior design and wellness design. And I started to see how stress really shows up in our home. And when we design for calm and intention, you heal faster and live better. And I wanted to really kind of do that with my clients, and it's really started to pay off. It really helps people.
I love that. It's so true. I mean, every time you go into a hospital or some of these more, like clinical settings, it's like even doctor's offices, it's stressful.
Mhm.
Like just
Yeah,
walking in there, it's like, I don't want to be here.
exactly. And if there's a
Yeah.
way to, make it feel more like a spa, like that feeling you get when you walk into, there's a reason that you suddenly take a breath and you come down a couple notches. And that's how it should be in our homes. Our homes should be soul-aligned sanctuaries.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something we really need to think about because I feel like there's one thing when we know that clutter and things like that really has an impact on our energy levels and our
Yes.
health and all that. But what you're doing goes way beyond that. It's not just, okay, clean up your spaces and
Hmm.
have things in a more neater, organized area, but you're really taking it, much further in terms of how you help people design their spaces to, like you call it, really be a sanctuary.
Correct. It's the whole picture. It's not just that one piece of removing clutter. You can clear your desk or empty the sink and clear the counters, but you still feel stressed. And maybe it's the color. Maybe there's not enough natural light. There's a lot of factors that go into it. And when I decided to kind of meld this philosophy or perspective into interior design, um, I realized it also needs to come with a little bit of coaching, a little lifestyle strategy as well, to kind of align and help people really meet their goals along with everything we're doing in their home.
Yeah, which makes sense too. When you think about the perspective of why do you have clutter in your house, or why is it messy, or why is it not neat, and how that's causing stress. But what else is going on in your lifestyle that's kind of perpetuating that cycle, right?
Exactly, exactly. And helping you to kind of set the intention of how you want your space to function. What are your needs? Are you trying to live a healthier life, but your home is not supporting it? You're trying to go out for a bike ride every morning. Well, where is the bike? Is it is it easily accessible? Where are your running shoes? Are they deep in the closet? So it's creating that organization and that plan to really set you up for success.
It's funny you say that because many years ago, I used to know this guy who literally would go to sleep in his running outfit. And that's what he would
Yeah.
sleep in. And he's like, if I don't do it, I'm not getting up and doing it. I need to literally
Yep.
get out of bed, and all I have to do is
Just
put my
go.
sneakers on and I'm going. I'm like, wow, that's an interesting
Brilliant.
strategy. But it
Yep.
worked.
It does.
It
It
totally
does. If you
worked.
keep the shoes by the door, you're more apt to use them than if they're, two, three, four steps away for you to access. So it's setting up those rituals, those routines, along with creating your home environment to support all of the things that you want to do with your life.
Yeah.
So it's
So
twofold.
let's talk a little bit about the steps. So, what are the main steps in your sanctuary shift method? And I love the name, by the way. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm kind of toying around with maybe shifting it a little bit, but it really speaks to what I'm trying to
Yeah.
accomplish. And the first part of it is setting the intention, and it's deciding what you want. What do you want this space to do in each room? Whether we're doing one room or a whole house, each room needs to have an intention, a function, and you need to align that with your life. And that's the next phase, is aligning these intentions and your home and your goals and your space with what you want to get done. And the next is to nourish your senses. It's to really think about how your textiles, how the color, how the everything about your home is nourishing you. The third is to start to clear the clutter. And we go through the whole word of sanctuary with intentions, and a plan. And then we design the whole space based on each of these steps. And it's about a 4-month process. So we start with a very intensive interview, and we work through all of these plans. And then we come back with a really thorough design plan based on what those goals are. And then sometimes we have a hybrid plan where we can come in home and implement these plans, or we work together in sort of a group coaching. So I have two options.
Yeah. So, for a 4-month plan, is that to do the entire house or just one room?
Typically, it starts with one room at a time, but if someone lives in, say, a one level ranch or an apartment or a studio, it's possible to accomplish that. But it depends on how much stuff and how much clutter and how much
Mhm.
of an issue your space is. So each client is sort of customized to each person when we do a hybrid. If it's sort of the group coaching program where we set you up with all the modules and all the information. Once we get that launched, it'll be like a group coaching, and we'll talk individually with each person in that call, but and guide people through it unless they've hired us for an in-person interior design plan.
Right. Yep. And would you say that the types of people that are attracted to this, are they also people who have maybe like a chronic health issue, or really it could just be anybody, right? Who just wants to be less stressed in their environment?
Yes, typically, I mean, it's empty nesters. We're talking about widows, anyone that's really kind of experienced that bump in life that really set them off their course. And they're looking to reset. They're looking for intentional living. They want to make a change and they're ready for it. And they know it starts at home.
And do you find that, and I'm sure this runs the gamut, but it just popped into my head, like people have to, can they work with things that they already have in their house? Or is it really like, no,
Absolutely.
like, okay, so it's not
Yeah.
like we have to go out and refurnish the entire
No.
house.
No, and I'm a big proponent of that. I'm really, it's really important to me to live sustainably and reuse and repurpose as much as possible. Obviously, there's some things we just can't. I think we've gotten into a world of fast fashion with our home decor. There's a lot of cheap junk being created, and so no, I don't think that we need to completely gut our home if there's a lot of usable pieces that we can, find a new home for in some way or another.
Yeah, and it might just even mean refreshing them somehow.
Yes, correct.
With paint or whatever it might be. It's so funny. Like we're redoing my mom's home now. She just moved into assisted living, and
Hmm.
we're doing a lot of things and whatnot. And some of the furniture just, it just wasn't our style. It wasn't going to fit. But it is
Sure.
amazing how many people. I mean, she's had this stuff for probably 60, 70 years or so, and it's amazing how many people still want that kind of like, mid-century type
Yeah,
furniture because it's made so well, and half the stuff
correct.
today is just not made well. You
Garbage.
can't find it anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
The
really,
quality isn't there.
exactly. So this is fascinating. We're going to get into a lot more. You're listening to the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will explore more with Rachel Schemmerling, founder of Timeless Living Designs. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. Before we continue, I want to make sure everyone knows how to contact me. You can find me at www.drdianehayden.com or either of my two publications, www.naturalnutmeg.com and www.essentialnaples.com. And you can learn more about my guest, Rachel Schemmerling, at her website, which is www.timelesslivingdesigns.com. That's spelled TIMELESSLIVINGDESIGNS.com. So welcome back, Rachel. We were talking about
Thank you.
just how we don't, when people think of like, remodeling and renovating or what you do to come in and make a big shift, that I think people automatically think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to invest in all this new furniture, and I don't really like anything in the house anymore. And all
Right.
that. And it's really, you're more about, okay, how can we repurpose what you have? And
Yep.
how can we maybe just move things around in different areas or add color, or like literally
Exactly.
I had this little tiny end table that was, my mom's, and she had painted it over the years, and it was white and, kind of turning gray.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to do something with this. And I basically picked two colors that were in this really cool new rug that I got for my office that has like a mandala on it. And it was like sunburst yellow and ink blue. And I just got spray paint from, you'll know, like who's the big spray paint company? Can't even think of the name right now.
Rust-Oleum?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
See, I knew you'd know. Rust-Oleum. I've never spray painted a thing in my life, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I sprayed the outside that sunburst yellow, and like
Uh-huh.
the cubby, there's like a cubby to it, that blue. It looks amazing, and I love it now. And I'm like, I
See?
would have thrown that piece out.
And that brings you joy. And that's what
Yeah,
it's all about. I mean, it can very well mean an entire, gut of a kitchen and redo this so that it's functioning and working properly for the homeowner. Or it may just be a few simple changes and fixes that really changes things for someone. So it can run the gamut from, a full-on renovation to very small consulting.
yeah, exactly. So how can our home reduce everyday stress and anxiety? Like the worst thing is when somebody, if you work outside your home, or even if nowadays everybody's at home, but coming home
Yeah.
from somewhere and you're like, oh God, I don't want to be here. Like, I want to go somewhere else.
Well, there's definite reason that you might feel like that. So, I mean, our homes really cue up our nervous system, right? So, it's that visual clutter. That's a huge, huge factor in all of this. If the lighting is off, if there is, the colors are, there's a whole psychology behind color. If it's really, not working, then it needs to change. The lighting is the biggest one. Natural light is so important just to our well-being, obviously. But if, you're living under a fluorescent light all day, that can have some implications. And so I think having not just these changes in your home, but also creating those sort of grounding rituals that go along with some of the changes that we're making, can really lower the cortisol, help you exhale, and really make a big difference in how you're feeling.
Yeah, that's great. Um, so you talked about light and color. Like, so which design elements most impact your mood? Is it light, color? Is it layout? Is it the way things are, organized in the particular room? And I'm imagining maybe it's different for different people, right?
Yes, absolutely. But I feel like light really is the lead in our well-being. Color supports us. Layout really sustains. If you're not able to, get to the things that you need easily, if you can't reach things, if you can't get through a space and it's not functioning properly or the flow is off, that can really affect us greatly. Having those colors, those are, calming hues. That's really important. Like, it's just, for example, in a bedroom, if like I had a client, she came to me. She was totally overwhelmed and stuck in her life. She just could not get past a recent breakup. And so we simplified things in her bedroom. We cleared the clutter. We softened the colors, made the hues, much lower. It was just too intense in there. And reset the lighting and built in some gentle routines for her at night, which also was just a whole other aspect of this from a different perspective and just the design. And that really changed things. Within weeks, she was sleeping better. She was starting to date again. And it was a whole new reset for her in so many ways, other than just redesigning her bedroom. So
Wow.
there's a lot to it. It's layered. It's a layered effect. I don't think there's one aspect of this whole process that can say the one is better than the other. I think it's a layered approach.
Yeah. Light is really important. I have to totally agree with that. When we started, doing some of these renovations in my mom's house, she had this one room that oh my God, she's got these beautiful heart pine wood floors that she put carpet over, which is great. I know it's like everybody who walked in was like, what's under there? I'm like, you're not going to believe it. But the good side of that is they're so well preserved. I mean, they're gorgeous. They look like they're brand new when now that we took up the
Yeah,
carpet and
that's great.
sanded and refinished everything. But that room, by this when we did just taking up the carpet and she had heavy, drapes and things like that, taking all that up, putting lighter, window treatments on and things.
Mm,
I found that we didn't even have to paint the room because it brightened it up so much. It actually like
yes.
changed the look of the paint color.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Light will change the color instantly, and that's why a lot of people struggle picking out paint colors because they bring it home and it's a rainy day and they don't have a lot of light. The heavy drapes are there, and they put it up and they go, "Oh, well, this isn't what it looked like at the store." So yeah, yeah. So and it's common. You find that in a lot of older homes where they covered up beautiful floors with carpet or linoleum. There's layers and layers.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, she was like, well, somebody fell and that was it. And, everybody was putting up carpet and blah. I'm like, well, I totally get it, and
Yeah.
like I said, the floors are beautiful now. It's just,
Yeah. And
it's
that's
crazy.
another point there is to bring in more natural elements, to always have the hardwood floors and the more natural elements in your home, it's sustainable fabrics and linens and things like that that really speak to us. It's a biological thing really to get back to start thinking of our homes in a different way and to think about how we're supporting ourselves and our well-being in our home.
for sure. Um, so what are three easy fixes that people can do to feel calmer at home? Like even this week, if they wanted to just make three like quick changes this week.
Hmm. I think first, take a basket, set a timer, and just edit. Edit is a huge, huge fix. Like you go into a home and you just know right away. It's just clearing the clutter, taking away the things that are causing that stress moment, and just clearing, clearing right away. That's your number one homework. Two would be addressing the light. We're going into the winter months, start bringing in warm layered lighting, lots of table lamps. Sometimes people bring in a little like white twinkle lights for the holidays, and they leave them up all winter to bring them some sense of joy. Candles are always great. I think that's important to have that. And then to really start to create maybe some sort of a 10-minute wind down ritual at night. Maybe it involves a cup of tea, and create a little sanctuary spot for yourself, a chair and a little reading nook or something. That having that place to come back to your center is a huge part of bringing in that sense of wellness and well-being into your daily life.
Yeah, I
Those are
love
three
that.
things I do right away.
Yep. And I think again, we're discussing light, and that's such a big topic nowadays because
Mhm.
we're not about to, but in another month or so, we're going to be turning the clocks back. And there's
Right.
so many people that, suffer from seasonal depression and,
Exactly.
it's just even having, like you said, bringing those twinkle lights in, or if you want to get like a red light therapy device or something like
Yes.
that. Salt lamps are great.
Yep.
Um,
Exactly.
all, all kinds of things like that. I think it's such a big difference when it's dark out at 4:30.
Yes. Yes, anything you can do to keep yourself balanced. And it starts with, revisiting what you're doing at home. I don't think people give that enough thought. We spend a lot of money and time exercising and eating right and doing all the things. Um, but are we looking at the way our home is set up, and is it supporting all of that you're doing?
Yeah, for sure. For
Mhm.
sure. And the clutter too, as well. Like, I think that's a great idea. Just get a basket and,
Yep.
or a box if you need one,
Yep.
and
Yep.
just
Just
put the stuff in there. And you'd be surprised. I find like if I can accumulate everything into one area, I'm much apt to go through it and put it where it needs to be than if
yes.
it's there's stuff in every single room that I have to like attend to. So
Exactly. And it
that,
creates a quick, easy way to just deal with it right away. And even if you can't get to that stuff right then, you've made that one space feel better instantly, and you can just sort of take a breath and
yep,
then
exactly.
address the rest of the things.
Exactly. I love it. All right, you're listening to the Dr. Diane Show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking more with Rachel Schemmerling, founder of Timeless Living Designs. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden, and I am talking today with Rachel Schemmerling. You can learn more about her at her website, www.timelesslivingdesigns.com. That's spelled TIMELESSLIVINGDESIGNS.com. So, Rachel, one of the things I want to get into is how you're so much more than just a person who comes in and does interior design for a woman. Like you really, you mentioned when we talked about in your bio that it's more about coaching and helping with lifestyle changes and all that kind of thing. So, talk to us a little bit about how you weave that in and how you support women that
Mhm.
might be in life transition, like empty nesting or burnout, or maybe someone who's just become a widow, or things like
Mhm.
that.
So it's really personalized. It's customized to each person when we're talking about, say, the hybrid plan, where we're doing a little bit of online modules and going through the steps of the sanctuary shift method. But for the hybrid, it's much more personalized. We're talking, doing a deep dive and interviewing and really learning more about you and what your goals are and what you've been living within your space and what your intentions are, and what you want to accomplish from us working together. And I really kind of blend a little bit of the coaching to that person, to what their needs are, along with tailoring that to their space and the interior design needs that they have. And of course, that factors in their budget and the timeline that they have and what they overall need. So we really can help empty nesters say, I had one client, we helped her reclaim their child's room. So the children moved out and they decided that she always wanted sort of a crafting sewing room. And that's what we made. We created this space that she could go to and really dive into her creative side that she wasn't able to really have time for when she was a working mom. So it's blended to and catered and customized to that person.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's, when you think about like people's life changes like that, it's, you've spent, it could be 2018 at least, but probably more like 22 plus years or whatever of having children in your house.
Yes.
And now they're not there. And you've got, rooms that might be repurposed into something else, but just like there's less food in the house. There's like less clutter in the house. There's so many
Right.
things that now you can really change to maybe, like something like you just discussed that you've always wanted a room to have a different purpose, or even just the color or the layout or the things that you do in your home.
Exactly. And then, just another example, I worked with a woman that was recently divorced and she had downsized to a condo. And some of the furniture pieces just bad memories. We just want to completely get rid of that juju, right?
Yep.
It's time for a new chapter. And that's, a big part of it is, and some cases I've worked with some divorced women where they've kept the home and they are like, he wanted that color over here and I hate it and it's time to change. And that's the first thing we need to focus on is get rid of that because there's all of these things and memories and it's now time to create and carve out your space. And that is one of the exercises that we do in the beginning of working together is we kind of create like almost like a vision board of what only what you want in your space. It's not your kids telling you what you wanted or your husband or your partner. It's what you want from your soul. And then that just really gets it out onto paper and you visually see this space right in front of you, already almost designed by you, because it's now everything you would love in your space. And it's a fun exercise.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. At the same time, I think that you know, there, if you're in a relationship with a spouse or partner or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
then obviously there'll have to be compromises because no two people love
Of course.
everything exactly the same. So it might be
Absolutely.
that, yeah, you get one room, he gets a room, or the way that design certain spaces that you share, like the kitchen or the living room or
Yep.
that kind of thing, how you guys can kind of come together and, both mutually find something
Yes.
that you both love.
Absolutely. I mean, for the majority of the time that I've worked in interior design, it's couples that I'm working with. And so, a lot of times there's usually one spouse or partner that wants to lead the conversation, but I always make sure that that other person, they have something to say too, and we need to find a way to blend these ideas and thoughts and find compromises here and there. And there's always a way to make that happen.
Yeah.
It always comes together in the end.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Um, what's your this question has just popped into my head primarily because I'm in a house now. We're renovating my mom's house, which at,
Hmm.
we at some point we probably will sell, but for now we're going to be here. But
Hmm.
it's the design is not at all like the design that I would ever choose. I like open space floor plan, And she's
Hmm.
got this house is 1906,
Oh,
and it's in Avon, and it's basically like I don't even know how what I would. I think it's called like a salt box. I think
uh-huh.
it's 4 stories actually: basement, first floor, second floor, attic. But all the rooms are tiny. Like if you imagine,
Uh,
like those houses
the
that you
old
see in West
colonial.
Hartford. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Not long like that, more square and
Uh,
vertical, like almost like a cape, but um, with well, yeah, maybe it would be closely like that.
hmm.
Multiple stories, obviously. But what do you recommend for people who have small spaces like that to make the rooms obviously look or feel bigger?
Well, I mean, it depends on the function of the space. It depends on the light. But I would say most case scenario, you want to use lighter tones
Mm-hmm.
in smaller rooms, but it depends on the intention. Like if you're trying to create, like, say, a little library, a big bright white space just would kind of feel off. If you're trying to make it more cozy, you want to, this whole theory now with color drenching is an interesting um, design kind of trend, but I like to keep a home sort of consistent throughout. But if you love color and that's something you want to do, then I support it. But I would say, for smaller spaces, it's all about light and using the way you lay it out so that the pieces aren't, overpowering the space or making it feel smaller than it is.
Right. Color. I have not heard that term, color drenching. What does that
Oh,
mean?
yeah. So it's a new design. It's not really new, actually. It's actually very old, but it's coming back to color drenching is when you paint everything the same color. So all the molding, the walls, the ceiling, everything is in this deep, rich, almost jewel tone color. And it's a very beautiful, it creates a beautiful, rich looking space, and it can work in very large spaces or very small spaces, depending on what your intention and the goal of how you want to feel in that space. So it's something that it's personal.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's interesting, and it's so funny because it's the exact opposite of what I have a friend who's a realtor. She's like, "Well, if you do think you're going to sell at some
Yeah,
point, here's what I recommend. I'll buy her
yeah.
white and white dove everywhere."
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep. That's
"Okay,
what white dove is one of my favorites. Yeah.
yep,
I mean, and it's a versatile color. I do a lot of work with people that, hey, we're renovating the house now. We want to be here for another 5 years. But it has to be real estate friendly because we would like to sell it at some point. So if we're going to do it, we still want to enjoy it, but so we do the whites and the grays and the beiges. And that's fine. You can bring in color in other ways through your accessories and your furniture and everything. But yeah.
right." Which is what I did with the room that I was just talking about before, with the rug and the like the little end
Yeah.
table is my office, and so basically
Uh-huh.
that's what I did. Like
Sure.
I've brought in the colors in the rug, the colors in that end table.
Yep.
Other than I have like a little small statue over here that has color in it and that kind of thing. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's doing that and bringing in like other colors to offset sort of I mean, I would call it drab. It's not drab, but I like color. Like I would paint my
Yeah.
rooms bright color if I had, you know,
Yeah.
if I wanted to repaint it in 5 years when I have to sell it.
Well, I mean, I think there's ways
um,
to do that without having to overpower a space.
exactly. Yep. Exactly. For sure. For sure. So, um, I think this is just such a great topic to discuss. It's different from what I typically talk about. I mean, I'm usually always focused on, talking with a practitioner about health, like a health issue or natural therapies for things, that kind of thing. But I mean, I love that this is, fun and related to getting your living space in a more quote healthier situation. But
Right.
it really does have a lot to do with, like we talked about, stress and preventative health issues and
Exactly.
just feeling better in your home and all of that. So
Hmm.
I love that we're having this discussion. We're going to talk about a lot more When we come back, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm talking today with Rachel Schemmerling, and you can learn more about her at www.timelesslivingdesigns.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. You can learn more about me at www.drdianehayden.com. And I'm talking today with Rachel Schemmerling, and you can learn more about her at her website, which is www.timelesslivingdesigns.com. So, one thing we haven't talked about yet is, we talked a lot about light and color and pieces and things like that, but what about like plants, or you mentioned water filtration things, and just like other aspects of what you can do to make some changes in your home that will help you
There's
feel
so
a little more
much.
calmer.
There's so much to wellness design in general that's really becoming more prevalent in all aspects of interior design. Biophilic design is huge. It's something that's really becoming more common and more of a household word. And it's bringing in plants. It's creating that environment that supports us, our breathing, and helps the air filtration in a small way. But there's a lot of new systems for air filtration in your home, whether it's a system that you have connected to your furnace and the inner workings of your home, or there's small units you can purchase to refresh the air in a space. Say you just had it painted, or there's illness or whatever, just a lot of dust. If you suffer from any allergies, air filtration is huge. Water filtration, of course, as well. It's something you can do. But there's so much to this. There's all kinds of high-tech appliances and computerized units now that, smart home design that turn the lights on, turn them off, work with your circadian rhythm, um, draperies and shades and blinds that open automatically or close. There's a lot to wellness designed on all economic levels, depending on if you're, like I said, there's just simple consulting and some simple changes you can make to support your lifestyle, all the way up to full high-end renovations with all of these bells and whistles that can come with a new home.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any ideas for, because one of the things that I would love to have in my home is plants. And
Hmm.
the problem that I have, which I'm sure there's a solution for, but I haven't figured that out yet, is that I live in Florida 6 months out of the year. So what do I do with my plants if that's even an option while I'm not here? And we do have a home watch person that comes in usually once or
Hmm.
twice a month, but not enough to, be able to be in here watering and that kind of thing. So
Oh.
I cannot stand fake plants. Like,
Mm.
I just have an issue with, I've even talked to energy workers and they've even said like, "Oh, it's, don't worry about it. It's fine." But to me, the energy around an artificial plant is
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, and of course, I'm sure you've talked to some feng shui practitioners that would say the same, depending on, no dead plants, no no fake or artificial things that can have a bad energy. It's a
Right.
hard one. I mean, it's sort of like, plants are kind of like another animal that you have to
Right.
take care of, and you need someone to take care of them for you. So there are ways to self-watering and systems and things like that, but you kind of need to have someone come and take care of them. So I would think that in your case, if you're kind of a snowbird, you would limit the number of plants that you have. And sometimes, when we're talking about wellness design, everyone's like, yeah, biophilic, to bring in the plants and it's going to be great because it's going to help your environment. Well, sure, but it's one more thing you have to take care of. And if
True.
that's going to stress you out, then maybe that's not for you. And that's okay.
Or maybe
And
I just
that's
have to
why I
get a
keep saying,
cactus.
yeah, exactly. There you go. There's your answer. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's customizing it to you specifically. There's all these suggestions and all these wonderful things you can do to improve the wellness of your home that you read in a magazine in the afternoon, but does
True.
it really work for you specifically? And that's
Yeah.
kind of where I come in.
That's the thing. And I have seen like that, I'm sure you've heard of it, that company Easy Plant. and I've been
No,
tempted. Oh, really? I see it on
no.
Facebook all the time. I think it's
Yeah,
even easyplant.com, but I'm not sure about that website. But I'm
I'll
pretty
have to look
sure,
into that.
yep, the name is Easy Plant, and they are a self-watering plant, and
Oh,
they supposedly can go a month on their own.
interesting.
So I've looked at it, and I just haven't pulled the trigger, but I might try it. It's like at their
Yeah,
review, they have great reviews. So
try it, see how it works. I'd love to hear how it works out.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
That sounds
So
awesome.
for people who are interested in working with you,
Mhm.
the best way to contact you through your website or any other way.
Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely. It all starts with a call with traditional interior design or through the sanctuary method, just a consultation. I'm a full service interior design firm, but I also offer design only plans. And the sanctuary method is a new program that I'm building right now. We're going to be launching in the new year. So that'll be a sort of a self-paced, but a little more high touch with group coaching program with modules that someone can do. And then we also will have the hybrid, more in-person plan. But to get in touch with me is to just go to my website, fill out the form, and I'll reach out and we'll set up a date to talk and see what services would best suit you.
Okay. And that's timelesslivingdesigns.com. And
Timelesslivingdesigns.com.
and is the 4 month signature service, is that the sanctuary shift?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And who
Yep.
would
And
you
then
say that that's best for?
I would say that if you are at a point in your life where you're ready to make some changes, you're ready to but you're overwhelmed and you're not quite sure where to start, and maybe you don't have a huge budget at the moment. We haven't quite decided on the price point yet, but this will be an affordable program that offers you, group coaching with me specifically, and we also bring in experts. We have a hypnotist, an organizer, a business coach, a life transition coach. People are going to be coming in to support. So there's a lot of access to getting the help you need without having to spend the big dollars, and you can implement a lot of the plan on your own.
Wow, I love that you're bringing in a hypnotherapist. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah, that's going to
Awesome.
be great. We're trying to figure out now exactly how we're going to be doing that, because this is all going to be launching in the new year. But it's building up, and I think we have a really great service here that we can offer and help a lot of people this way, as opposed to just traditional interior design.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, I'm assuming like all virtual, and people are
Yep.
part of a group, and you kind of, I wouldn't say it's necessarily DIY, but
Yes.
but people are doing like some work on their own, and as well as being
Correct.
part of the group. Yeah.
It'll be all online, but I do offer also. I have the Ginger Jar Society, which is a group a group that I've created on Facebook, which I'm hoping to move off of Facebook eventually into a sort of a networking website where we can get together more often. But then I'm going to be looking at doing some in-person events as well, which is kind of fun. I love to host teas and workshops and things like that. So that's something I'll be offering as well in the future.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So we just have a couple minutes left. What's a takeaway for somebody? What's the easiest next step for listeners who want to get started today on making their home more stress free?
Yeah, I mean, start setting up small rituals for yourself. Maybe it's just while you're drinking a cup of tea in the afternoon, you're removing 3 items off your desk or in your bedroom that are causing you stress. Maybe it's gratitude journaling. Just tiny, consistent actions over time really wire in a change. And, think about just take a different perspective at your space. Take a picture of it with your cell phone camera and look at it. Look at it from a different perspective and go, okay, well, I didn't realize that there's so much junk over there in that corner that needs to get clear. That's a really dark spot over there, or this room could really use a refresh and paint. And just having a different set of eyes come in and take a look at it and see how it feels.
That's a great idea. I would never have even thought to take a picture of the room with your cell
Yeah,
phone.
it
Duh.
looks so different to you when you do
I
that. You're
bet it
like, oh,
does. I totally bet it
yeah,
does. And I love the tip because I think people look at their spaces, and if it's cluttered, they're immediately overwhelmed, and they feel like they
Right.
have to go in and they have to clean the whole thing, and I don't have time to do that, and I can't, I'm not,
Little bits
if
at
I
a time.
start, no, exactly, like literally what you said, just go in
Yeah.
and just put three things away, like
Yep.
literally, that's all you have to
Be
do. And
gentle with yourself is my biggest tip, really. Because a lot of times the women that I work with are coming from a huge stressful moment in their life. It could be the loss of a spouse, it could be the loss of a child, it could be grieving a past marriage from divorce or illness. We're all dealing with something, right? And life,
right,
especially now in our world, is so stressful. It just really makes sense to make a sanctuary of our home.
yeah, I love it. Well, this has been so amazing. Thank you, Rachel,
Yeah.
for all the great information. And
Thank
again,
you.
if people want to reach out to you, it's www.timelesslivingdesigns.com. And I want to thank all of you listeners for joining me today. Please join me the first and third Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, where I have experts from around the country teaching you cutting edge therapies on longevity medicine, natural health, mindset, soul purpose to help you shift your perspective and become a mindset warrior like me. And please like and subscribe to my channel, Dr. Diane Hayden. I'll see you back here next time. Thank you for tuning into the Dr. Diane Show, revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. Tune in every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on transformationtalkradio.com. Center your thoughts on what you want and shut the door on every suggestion of fear, worry, or lack from your own consciousness or the consciousness around you. Once you master that, everything is possible. To learn more about me, Dr. Diane, and receive a free digital subscription of my magazine, visit naturalnutmeg.com.